The Gentlementor.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mark Walker. Happy
That's what they call me.
birthday to you.
Cheers, everyone. First round is on me.
Speech.
Well, after 51 years, I have decided I'm leaving now.
Where are you going?
I was going to pull a Bilbo speech and I can't remember.
Oh, man.
I like half of you twice. I like half of you. I like some. I don't remember. I like half of you half as much as I should. And the other half, I don't remember what he says, but anyway, it's hilarious. Hi, how are you?
Oh, man. I don't even know. I'm glad to be here with you. That's the main thing. I'm like, I don't even care about everything else now. It's like,
Oh, okay then.
I was like, it's been, and I don't mean to make that sound ominous or like it's been horrible or anything. It's been, a wacky time as usual, which all seemed terribly important. And now I'm just like happy to be here with you. And
Nothing.
then, like,
Yeah. All right, so we have to actually talk about something. Is that what you were actually saying?
we don't. I mean, if we don't this time, we need to like come up with a plan to do it the next time. Because if you can think of anything worthwhile, we can talk about. There's certainly plenty of topical stuff out there. We can talk about Roe versus Wade. Oh my goodness.
I'm ready. Let's talk about Roe versus Wade.
Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade. What are your thoughts about the whole Roe versus Wade controversy?
Well, the controversy itself, I don't know what to think about. I'm a pretty big fan of not murdering babies.
Okay. Seems rational.
Okay, it seems pretty good. I'm also a fan of people having rights, but not when those cross over the rights of killing an unborn innocent child. Yeah, I don't know. I think I really don't think it matters what happens. People are still going to they're going to do whatever. I think
True.
true.
I
It's
agree.
true.
I
mean,
you.
it doesn't matter what we do. Either Canada's already said, "Hey, you guys can come up here. We'll kill all your babies that you want." So Amazon
Canadians
said,
are always very hospitable.
that's not, I mean, they are up there for us. And Amazon's already been saying, hey, if whatever it takes for all employees, if they
Have abortion
whatever,
drones? Amazon
maybe
abortion
so.
drones.
I don't know, but not if it's illegal. Of course, it's going to be on a state by state basis, and I think that's where we're going with this. It's going to be a state by state basis.
Well, when you get down to what like Roe versus Wade being overturned means, that's what you're really talking about. Is the states get to decide. It's no longer set policy set at the federal level. It becomes a state issue,
right?
Which it was up until Roe versus Wade. So,
right.
What was that? 73 ish? I don't even know for sure.
Yeah.
That's how up to date I am because I'm not even supposed to talk about this because I'm a dude and it's only for women who have babies on this topic. Other topics can be for us dudes who have babies. Dudes that get pregnant can have opinions on other issues, but not this one.
But not abortion.
I'm still working out the rules. There's a big flow chart I was working on to put up back here, but it's not done yet.
Well, I can't wait till it is. Now
I know it's going to be an exciting episode.
We can sort this out with the intelligence that's needed.
I've always thought, and that was always my case to people, is like old people that I knew who will remain nameless, and they would get like all aggravated about Roe versus Wade, and I'm like, you remember Prohibition, right? You remember what a success that was, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Let's realize, first of all, that prohibition of anything, the absolute no, never works. Because as you stated very clearly before, people will find a way
to do what they want, yes.
And threaten it about this is taking away your health care and this is taking away your rights and all that falls flat when you realize, again, that this is a state-by-state issue. So even if you can't have one in your state, as many people have pointed out, you'll probably be able to drive to a state where you can if it's something you really want to do.
Yep.
So that's kind of a big false flag, red herring in the conversation. Of course, when we say the first word, which is controversy, what I always think of is people acting on emotions instead of thinking. And that is what we have. And that's how
Yep.
this was set up to happen. That's why it was leaked so everyone could get all mad. And they showed up before anybody even knew about it. There were people protesting at the Supreme
Oh,
Court
yeah.
about it. And they already had
Yeah.
barricades up. Man, hey, can we say this one again? Remember the pandemic? Remember everything that happens in the news is basically there to distract you from something else? Well, let's see. What could this distract us from? Well, everything else that's been in the news, which is really unpopular, like inflation and Ukraine, and the list goes on and on and on. Chris
Yep.
Rock and Will Smith, and just it's whatever you want to throw in that bucket.
Sure.
This is the next thing to wipe that away.
Yep.
This is something we can do. Of course, the obvious thing is that it was done so the public could, put pressure on the Supreme Court to change their minds. That's the whole purpose behind it. And that's illegal. Just want to say that's actually against the law.
Oh, are we going to do that now?
I don't want to. Listen, I want to be the ugly American. I'm just saying,
Okay.
it happens to be against the law. If anyone's curious about that, and why are we doing that? Well, because we can't handle anybody doing anything. Somebody throws this grenade. They're taking away your rights. Roe versus Wade, they're taking away your abortion rights. And that's everybody just marches to that.
Mm-hmm.
The people that are going to protest are already out on the street protesting to that. That's all they need. Never going to examine it, never going to look closer. Flip through social media, you'll see exactly what I mean. Because everybody's already taken their sides. Let's all take a side here.
Through social media.
I don't want to think about like who this actually affects or how many people this actually affects. We don't want to talk about any of the real numbers. We don't want to talk about the issue that, you know what, there might be some extreme circumstances where a woman and her doctor might think this is the best situation. But that's not what we're talking about. What we're talking about is a thing that has now become a form of birth control.
Mm-hmm.
And the the troubling part of that is that that's not troubling. The number of abortions is not troubling to us. Nobody's going, wow, that seems high. Maybe we should bring that down a little. But let's talk about real ways to do it. I like real solutions. And like I said, getting rid of it, making it illegal, which it's not what getting rid of Roe versus Wade does at all. Making it illegal wouldn't stop anybody, even if that's what was going on. And that's not what's going on.
Yeah.
So what do we do? If there are too many abortions and we are anti-abortion, let's say that, rather than being pro-choice or getting into the divisive language, not diverse, divisive language. Rather than that, what do we do to solve this? How do we stop this? My proposition has been, and the proposition that we worked under for a long time was that part of the problem is that young women in our culture and our society are taught that that is kind of the ultimate value that they have, is their sexuality. And that is what they have as a power. That's what they have to make their mark, bestow their favor, prove who they are, get people to like them, win friends and influence people. And it's like, that might be a problem. The hypersexualization of young girls, that might be a problem.
I believe that it is. Okay.
And so they use sexuality as a means of gaining power and influence
over
all those things. Yeah.
people.
So maybe we teach young girls that they have other valuable aspects of who they are.
What?
I know. It seems crazy in this day and age when nobody wants to get involved with children and sexuality. It's amazing how many people are volunteering to educate young children about
their sexuality.
That.
Yeah.
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 Maybe let's don't. Maybe that's not the way to go. Maybe young kids don't need to know about that yet. And maybe hypersexualizing them at a young age is part of the problem. Maybe. Just say it.
Part of the problem, or part of many problems we have.
Well, we're talking about this specific problem, so I'll limit it for the purpose of discussion.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying, and you're absolutely right. I believe that's a problem.
I'm like, all I know is for years and years and years of ministry time, that was everybody's, we got to end abortion, we got to stop abortion, we got to make abortion illegal. And I'm like, yeah, but that might never happen. And even if it does, it won't really be a solution. What can we do on the front end? How can we prevent it in the first place?
People don't think that way.
Well, no, because we've been told, abstinence. Nobody's going to do abstinence. Hey, it doesn't have to be abstinence. It could be taking a little bit of responsibility. You don't have to not.
Whoa.
I know. It seems
taking
crazy.
Responsibility? Man, you're talking crazy stuff.
Crazy talk. We're controversial.
Man,
talking about the Roe versus Wade. Is the caller there? Do we have a caller?
Do we have a caller? How do you feel about taking responsibility for your own actions?
Oh, man, I'd rather not.
Let's do that.
That has been nothing but trouble for me.
Let's do that. Let's create some legislation about taking personal responsibility.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where would that start? What would you put on that list? I thought of something today that would fit on that list.
Okay.
I thought, what about people that make false reports? I mean, technically, that's illegal. But people who make false reports and start firestorm stuff that leads to riots and stuff like that. How about some responsibility for that? How about some responsibility, like if a media outlet reports a story and then that story is later proven to be false, they have to retract it in a major way so people know they made a mistake.
Right.
They don't have to say they were lying.
And pay retributions to those that were affected.
Well, in the case that something leads to riots and stuff like that, yeah.
Yeah, they should have to pay for
Get out your checkbook.
The insurance companies of those businesses whose business storefronts were looted should be able to recoup that money from the media or from whomever started that type of thing.
In those insurance companies, the people who would be doing that would be lawyers, and they're usually real savvy about where to find dollars. So I'm kind of surprised none of that happened, but it's got such a social stigma attached to it. Nobody wants to be the person who went after the people who were just protesting because of, the dude.
I don't think there's any way we could enforce the personal responsibility. I just don't think
there's not. There's no way we can enforce anything. Well, there's
until we decide that there is an absolute truth and an absolute right and wrong. I thought you were leaving. You were like, I'm done. I'm out of here.
I'm winding up.
There's no way we can enforce that until we all agreed on this is right and this is wrong.
We've all got to agree at some point. The social contract is broken because we have a situation now where no laws are being enforced except the ones that are just picking and choosing laws. Mm-hmm. Because if you're above a certain, I don't even think it's an income level. I think it's a status level. Like, there's no accountability. They might haul you into court. They might drag you through the tabloids or something, but ultimately you're going to walk away. You're not going to pay any real price. We've got to agree that just accountability is going to happen again. Because it's just gone.
Yeah.
If we're not going to enforce anything, it doesn't do any good to have any more laws. And we've got, the whole world of judges that do whatever they want and act opposite to the law. This whole thing that's probably going to come out at some point about what's going on with the Project Veritas people and how the judge in that case ordered the records sealed. And so the FBI took those records to another judge and that judge said it's okay to unseal those, but just don't tell anybody. And so one judge is acting counter to another judge just because they favor one side or the other politically.
Exactly. Yeah.
I don't want to say that's a bad thing, but that's a bad thing.
So I want to think there's probably an episode of Star Trek that they had programmed all of the laws and the justice into a computer that decided if you were guilty or not. So therefore, it only based upon its programming and not upon influence
Right.
or the other things that were going around.
Just an algorithm.
Just an algorithm. And of course, whatever algorithm was put in that, and naturally, the plot of this, I think it was either that or one of those other Outer Limits or something like that. I don't remember which was, but and then of course someone hacked into it and changed it naturally, which surprisingly people will do.
Elon.
And so therefore it was dealing out justice that
Sorry,
was
I didn't mean to mix
injustice.
controversies.
No, that's all right. That's all right. I mean, if anybody's going to do it, it's going to be him or Gates or yeah.
There's been so much fun news this week. It's hard to keep track of what's funnier to talk about.
I don't know.
You got all them Roe versus Wade. Of course, you got everybody still spinning about the Elon thing. What was your favorite Babylon Bee post last week? Do you have a favorite? Mine was the King Solomon one. That was
the King Solomon, the one about the people running out of babies to sacrifice at some point.
Yes. Bring to Moloch the supply chain shortage on babies.
Yes, the supply chain shortage of babies to sacrifice.
My number 2.
The one I saw today, though, yesterday or today, was phenomenal. It was the one about the new Doctor Strange movie that said that Disney was, in order to increase popularity of the movie, that they were including ticket sales from other universes.
I saw that.
That was pretty funny. So
is it supposed to be a stinker or what?
We went and saw it Sunday night. It was okay.
Oh,
I mean, it was. I wasn't disappointed.
Now they're not just on Disney Plus.
No, you have to go see them. Yeah, if you want to see them in the theater, that's kind of our kids thing. I'll take Lexi.
You guys kind of do that as
we do that. So we had done that, and I wasn't disappointed. The kids were a little bit more disappointed than I was because they were in the circles on social media of like, oh, there, Tom Cruise is going to be one of the universe's Tony Starks, and then someone else is like, oh, all 3 of the other Spider-Man are going to be in it as well, and this and that, and so they were getting all hyped up by all this other stuff that people were drawing up. They were just fabricating these own ideas on their own,
right?
And so they were hyping it all up, and none of that, of course, happened. But
it turned out none of that was true.
Yeah, but of course, the only thing that matters was that Patrick Stewart was there as Dr. Xavier, and that's
really,
that's it.
Well,
Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
Really
I'm sorry.
it all together.
I'm sorry. That was in the trailer. You could hear his voice, so that's not really a spoiler alert for anybody who listened to this and hasn't seen the movie yet.
Don't worry, this won't be.
Man, those daggum Gentlementors, they completely spoiled the movie for me.
By then,
but yes, Patrick Stewart was in it, and it was delightful, and but it's whatever. Disney's trying to bring in the new era of Marvel people. So the younger people, the younger folks.
We don't like young people.
Although Charlize Theron is now one of the Marvel characters. So
which one?
She was in the one of the credit scenes.
Really?
I don't remember what the name of her was, Chao or something like that. But yeah. And she takes Doctor Strange into some other multiverse and says, "Let's go. We're going to do this." And he goes with her, and it's like, "Oh, Charlize Theron. I'd go with her."
It's hard to imagine why you wouldn't.
I mean, hey.
It's the end of the movie anyway. You're just hanging.
It's the end of the movie, yeah. And she opens up some kind of temporal portal into some place. I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, win-win. Sure. Let's go.
Let's roll."
Let's roll. Mm-hmm. And then I turn to the camera and say, "I'll be back." So yeah, what else is going on in the news? I saw the Roe versus Wade because I was with a bunch of pastors.
Wade, we did. We talked the last time. We talked a lot about Elon and the Twitter.
Elon, I know that was happening.
The head spin. I guess he's announced today he's letting everybody back on. if when he takes the throne. Although there was something
So like
last
Trump's
night about if I die under mysterious circumstances, it's been fun.
that way he tweeted that.
Yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah.
I feel like I should almost get back on Twitter just to be entertained.
I asked our followers if they wanted us to join Twitter, and we got a rousing 0 responses. No, actually, we got 1 response, but not in the question box. It was just somebody who wrote back and said, "No, you all are too old."
I wonder who that was.
I don't know.
Surely it was one of our offspring.
It wasn't a
You're gonna have to
familiar name.
post that. I feel like you're gonna have to post that question on Twitter to get a real good response.
Self-serving one too. Yeah. Well, there was also the thing Elon did last week where he was talking about all the big letter that came out, all these different organizations that came together to all sign the letter, like 26 organizations. We're all signing this letter because we don't think it's good for Elon Musk to be allowed to buy Twitter and have total control over it. No single billionaire should have control over a social media platform. Ha ha ha. And so
Really?
that's suddenly wrong. Along with my body, my choice. It was my body, my choice until COVID. Then it was no longer my body, my choice. Now, Bill Gates has assured us that COVID is mostly a disease that affects old people, and it's pretty much like the flu. Did you see that one yet?
I did see that one kind of breezing through.
Favorite video clip of the week.
Mm.
So now we've admitted that COVID was a hoax, pretty much, and something killed people, and we still don't know what that was. See, that's what's messing with me, and that's what's messed with me all along. Is most of it's just been the flu, but something's out there killing people, and nobody's telling us what it really is.
Well, who knows? I don't know.
Well, I know.
So you think it's not just the flu? It could just be the flu killing people? It's
It could. It
some
could,
kind of
but some of
rogue
it was
strain of the
so
flu?
Weird, yeah. That. Something like something that looks almost exactly like it, but has a switchblade or something. There were a few people in there that were like the Jacob kid from Andy knew from the church up there that was 34.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, that's hard for me to take as just the flu. That's weird. And there were lots of people who had that. I think that Bob Saget thing, I think that sounds like he had a reaction, like he passed out and went down backwards, like full drop, just dead drop. And
hit his head?
It was,
A
everybody
reaction from what? From his jab?
He had vaccine, but he had just gotten over COVID too. So I'm not calling COVID or vaccine or what. I'm just saying there's something in there that's got a little more ability to knock you down. Maybe just like the Nazi flu. I don't want to call it like flu plus, flu beta. I don't know. Something, but something that basically is based on flu, so it looks just like it,
Right.
and can slip around. But just every once in a while, you get a jackpot dose, and it's night-night, And it's always been that way for immune-compromised people, older people,
of course.
Younger people.
Yeah.
That's always been.
Yeah.
But some of these were a little rando. And maybe not. Maybe you just don't hear about them in other cases. I don't know. But I don't remember what I'm talking about COVID because Bill Gates said the thing.
Stuff in the news. Yeah. COVID was a thing, not a thing, really was not a thing. And now it's a thing.
Nothing to worry about. Really nothing to worry about.
I'm not worried about it.
Dr. Bill Gates.
Dr. Gates. Yeah.
Successfully fought
And people are mad
all the
because
Windows viruses.
because one person controls social media. Ooh.
We're not allowing that anymore. Oh, that's what it was. My body, my choice. My body, my choice until COVID.
My tweet, my choice.
Then during COVID, no more my body, my choice. Think about everybody else.
Right. And then
Think
now
about
we're back
all
to
the innocent lives that will be put at risk by your irresponsible behavior.
Irresponsible behavior not to wear a mask. Yes.
Irresponsible behavior, risking lives.
Yep.
Like
and
STDs
now we're back
and unwanted pregnancies.
And
my
so
body,
now we're
my
back
choice.
to
It's back.
we're back to my body, my choice now because
ta-da!
Ta-da!
Because it's expedient. Like you said before, what was the thing? Until we all agree that there's going to be a truth.
Then yeah,
we ain't getting nowhere.
We ain't getting anywhere.
And it's like when you can double standard that hard with the mirror reflecting it right in your face, and you got no compulsion about it. That's a messed up mentality. It's just like the mentality that says whatever it takes for my side to win.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Well, because we want to create our own truths
yeah.
based on our
We
circumstances.
want to live in that echo chamber where everybody thinks like we do and believes
Exactly.
like we do. And
Exactly.
It's so, what's that word? Comfortable. Comfortable is the word. That's the word I'm looking for.
Selfish.
It's what I'm reminded of. Sorry, I'm gonna come in with a zinger here. What I'm
Do it.
reminded of, and not now so much. This is not a modern condemnation of Christianity. This leans back toward, I think, toward the late '90s, early 2000s. There got to be a thing where we needed to have like every kind of flavor church. Like I think it started with like maybe Guts or something, motorcycle church, and then cowboy
Guts church, yeah.
and then comedy church, and then this church, and then that church.
Comedy church. I kind of missed that one.
I was approached by Comedy Church. I applied to Comedy Church.
Really?
Yes.
And then we had Dr. Gene Scott, who was in charge of stripper church.
The King. We call him
Yeah.
the King.
The King. Dr. Gene Scott, yeah.
But it was like, okay, you realize part of our strength is this diversity. And doing this multi-flavored church thing is kind of breaking that up.
Mm-hmm.
You wind up with a bunch of cowboys at one church when maybe every church needs a few.
I would agree.
Andy
the
always
I think
wanted,
the-
he was like, I want to go to a church where it's like a technical, like where everybody's into tech stuff. And I'm
I
like,
feel like the problem though lies if you go to a cowboy church and then all of a sudden you say, if you don't ride a horse, God doesn't love you.
no urban cowboys.
Urban cowboys.
Only legit cowboys.
If you don't ride
Legit cowboy church.
right, so I'm going to the Bon Jovi church, so they're only riding steel horses. That's it. It's a motorcycle. That's Guts church, right? That's Guts. They're riding motorcycles.
Steel horses, yeah.
Steel horses. On a steel horse I ride. So I think that's where the problem is when we want to make our truths everyone else's truth, or we want to create a truth of our own. That's completely.
That truth right there is pretty amazing. What you just said
about making our truth everyone else's truth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, that's the golden ticket of human misery, isn't it?
It is. Absolutely, it is.
It's either we're either miserable on one side or the other.
Right. We are unable to accept truth that is handed to us, but we are okay about creating truths and handing it and forcing it on other people.
More than okay.
Yeah, of course.
We prefer it.
We think
that.
we think that's what we should do, is to create our own truths and force that onto everyone else.
True that.
What
can I say? True that.
This is definitely the bourbon talking, because bourbon goes in and wisdom comes out.
Yeah, that's gold.
Check this thing out here. This is gonna go. This is gonna go on my wall back here somewhere, and I just want at some point for someone to say something.
Expand your wall.
I just want for someone to say something at one point about it, because this is all about the great British World War II aircraft, the Spitfire. There's a Spitfire, a guy getting his hair cut in front of a Spitfire. You can't see it, but you got what's his name up here, Winston Churchill, with the squadron of Spitfires. And then over here you got a Spitfire up top. You can't see it. And then so this is probably going right here where this where all
Alpha,
these
Omega
the Alpha thing
Alpha,
here.
Bravo,
But check
Charlie.
this out. Check this out.
Oh, that's killer.
Isn't that phenomenal?
That's boss.
Yeah. So there's a guy. The 13th floor is the name of the website. So here's a plug for this guy. I bought this. He didn't give this to me. Maybe he'll give my money back. But he does all these World War II photographs, and they're all like this. I mean, they're all like, these soldiers in Jeeps, and they're chasing stormtroopers across the desert. So they're all
Nice.
World War II stuff. With the one is an aircraft carrier, and the Millennium Falcon is sitting on the black and white picture of the aircraft carrier. And then there's Corsairs or Hellcats or whatever, and X-Wing fighters all flying in formation over the aircraft carrier. So it's phenomenal.
Hey, rather than giving his money back, just send me that one.
Okay. Yeah. So whatever his name is there, his name is written on the print there. But
say it again, because I'll follow him on Instagram.
The 13th floor. Let me look at his name.
Let's see.
Ludwig. His name is Ludwig. Maybe he's German. I don't know. But Ludwig is his last name.
One of my classmates in high school was named Ludwig. That's funny.
So yeah, he's the artist for all those. They're great. 13th floor. Yeah, check it out. Give it a whirl. They got t-shirts, all kinds of fun stuff.
The Gentlementor.